gonna start recording, and away we go.
Help me in so I know when to talk.
I mean, just start talking.
Okay, well, I'll start talking.
Yeah.
Who do we got tonight? I can't hear
Well, we got
Joseph.
Joseph in here.
I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm just being quiet, but
Oh,
hello.
I can,
Because he
don't be
wants to learn how
quiet.
to paint some
Be,
tanks
be
too.
loud and obnoxious.
Oh,
Be
that's
loud
not
and
how that works.
obnoxious. All right. Uh, random turn order. Ah, the sky is falling. Okay.
Okay.
Is that good? Is that?
Perfect.
Should I do
Do
another
you feel
take?
better?
Can I get a 1-2?
All right. So what I have here in front of me, guys, is a Sherman tank, fresh out of the box from our friends at Cal Force 9.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Sherman tank, and as you can see, it is already green. With colors that are pretty stinking close to what an actual Sherman tank from that time period is. The only problem that I really have, I mean, I don't mind taking it right out of the box and playing it on the table, but I don't know if you can notice that there's some like shiny spots on this tank.
Yeah.
Tanks aren't shiny, they're flat.
I'm gonna say tank. A
So
shiny tank sounds
we
like
got
a
to do
easy
something
target.
about this.
All right.
So now I am going to paint this tank tonight
Yeah.
without using an airbrush. And
Ooh.
the reason I don't want to use an airbrush is because not everybody on the planet has an airbrush.
Or nice
So
brushes.
I'm going to paint this tank in such a way that we won't need an airbrush. Now, we got several choices. You can make your own olive drab color, and olive drab, which as you can see comes out green, is not a green based paint at all. It is not. Olive drab is made by mixing, are you ready for this? Yellow and the color black.
Nice. Ooh, I've got that.
Period, exclamation point. That's it. Now we have a variety of things we can do. So, like Vallejo right here makes a US olive drab. Its number is 71043. Uh, and this is for airbrush specifically, specifically for airbrush. That's one way to go. And I've used this to great success in putting that on all kinds of models. But I wanted to try something way different, even more so tonight. I have, from my hot, greedy little hands, Flames of War Fighting First paint set. Let's open this up and see what we got inside, dude. You're going to love this. Comes with 5 paints, which is the basics of what you're going to need to paint. Inside is Sherman Drab. That's what they call it. Sherman drab. And this is a 20-ounce bottle, which I was like very impressed with because normally, you're getting a smaller bottle. Let's face it. You know, you can see the size difference right here between the two. I forget how many, yeah, this is 0.57 ounces versus, a 20 milliliter. So what is that here? It's something or other. 17. So you get 3 extra milliliters. And you're thinking that's not a heck of a lot, but actually it is. So I am going to give us a shake here.
Yes.
I'm going to move some of our paints out of the way so you can see what's going on.
Well,
And brush selection.
I highly recommend a paint shaking machine as well, instead of just sitting there doing this for
Yeah,
20 minutes.
but I'm not going. I shook this earlier today, but I'm not going to run a machine while on stream
No, definitely not.
because that's just loud and obnoxious. And I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to show you guys here.
Oh, as long as your internet holds out.
Yeah, so you can see how nice and thick that paint is, and look at the color if you can see it in there. But you're about to see this shine disappear because we don't like the shine. Don't like the shine.
All right.
So
I'm going to
I'm
try
going
to
to take
make my
out a
own here.
brush very similar to this. And the reason I like this is a short bristled paintbrush, and it's kind of stiff. And why I like this, very simply, is I'm going to take that paint onto here, and then I'm going to dip it in some water off to the side, and I'm going to dip it in again. And just wet that brush. And then I'm going to paint it on.
So
It's
I'm
gonna come
actually
on wet.
here. I'm trying to mix my own, which is literally what Robert said, black and yellow. Trying to make it to what color I need it. Might take a little longer. But just in case you don't have the exact paint and you aren't looking for perfect accuracy, like my friend Robert here, I need to go a little lighter.
We're going to have some fun with these today, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
So as you can see, this is almost a direct color match to what's happening, to what I'm putting on here. Treat the paint that's on the model already as your primer, because guess what? That's all this is a color primer that are on these.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
Most of these tanks are also, but all of them are primed. So you don't have to do any sort of prep work.
In their base colors.
Yeah.
Now you'll notice that as I'm using this brush, I am not getting brush strokes at all. And that's that little bit of water that I just dropped into there by doing this. And
Yeah,
if
you
you
don't
do
want
get some brush strokes,
you don't want
since
thick.
you're using this short brush, you can use it to stipple, like so, to flatten out your brush strokes if you get any, which I haven't gotten. And that takes care of that issue.
I already forgot the golden rule. I
You're
did
just
not put on
going
my
lightly.
gloves. Normally I put on gloves when I paint.
If you don't have paint on you, you're not doing it right.
No, that's not it.
Now, yeah, it is. It's Padre's rules. Shut up.
it is Padre's
So,
cast.
Well, it's like when you're building something, you don't super glue at least one finger to something else while you're gluing, or you're releasing super glue, you know?
What about lips? Do lips count?
And I have discovered, I will tell the story because I can.
It is your
I have a
story.
tendency to put whatever I'm using to hold in my mouth.
Oh no.
And the other day, I was using a sharpened kind of stick
Okay.
to apply super glue onto a model I was building.
Okay.
Following along so far?
So far.
Now you see, I am getting some brush strokes here. I'm just going to stipple that into there and make those disappear. Just like that. And you'll see those brush strokes that were there just disappear right out. Now you notice I'm not worried about the tracks at all.
Oh, see,
The tracks are not going to end up.
I should be paying attention to you then, because I've stopped painting the tracks.
Don't paint the tracks.
Well, don't cross the streams.
Yeah, you can paint the wheels. Now this is where your stippling is going to come in handy. You can get a coat of paint into there. But there, I'm stippling it in there. I'm pushing it around. I don't want, like I say, brush strokes. Brush strokes do not look right. They did not use paintbrushes on the tanks generally. They used, believe it or not, a spray gun.
Yep, because it was much faster when you wanted to get a tank out.
Well, correct. And especially, in the winter time, they used whitewash, which is basically just, white paint and water.
Yeah, so
to thin it out, and then they slapped it on with whatever they could get their hands on.
I have like a bigger
rags,
bristle brush,
brushes,
and I can just go over it
Tell
like
me
that.
Every tank that they rolled out there to the front wasn't lovingly painted by hand with individual brush strokes.
No,
definitely not.
Tanks came out olive drab, and they were done.
Also, a lot of
camouflage them. You camouflaged them.
Yeah, also a lot of Russian tanks came out primer. That was their color.
And sometimes, literally, sometimes a Russian tank would come out with base metal.
Yeah.
So its camouflage color was rust. And then I'm just going to wash that out with a little water,
1 second.
clean that brush up, and I'm done with that there. And I'm going to set the base off to the side. And now you've got to do your turret. Turret, once again, load up a little water on the brush,
Yep.
come inside, and then hit it up.
Yeah.
Like my mark. This is my sweet spot for painting.
Oh yeah. So also, Robert showed me this trick, but a trick that we use because paints dry out, things are different for different people, like their humidity levels in their room or temperature. So he goes, yeah, just put a little parchment paper down over a wet paper towel, and then your paints really don't dry out.
Now, considering we're doing this so quickly, because let's face it, it's one model. When you are batch painting your tanks, let's say you wanted to do 5 Sherman tanks, you want to use that. You want to use what's called the wet palette. And
Yeah.
the wet palette is a great thing. It really is. I love the wet palette. Um, it just does a wonderful job. You have to
Yeah.
be careful when you're working with a brush not to put too much paint on and erase all of the fine details of what you're working on.
Yeah. This
Thin your paints.
Yeah, I consider myself like a backyard painter. I'll get the job done, but it'll be very unorthodox, and it'll take a couple of times, which is why I'm having Robert teach me.
So now another thing you'll do is you'll see that I'm not painting all the way up to the barrel up to the very end. I am not going to paint that little nub, and you will see why later on in our steps here, because tanks, when they came off of the transport ships, when they were freshly made, they looked brilliantly wonderful. They were just like, hey, let's put these in a museum. Um, that's not what they looked like after a few weeks out in the field.
No.
And I don't make tanks that look like they've been in a museum waiting to get used. Now, I do paint the bottom here
Oh, you
for a
do?
simple reason
Oh, now I want to do
is,
that.
is when I get a tank destroyed on the mat, I pop the turret off, and I'll usually lay it next to the tank or something like that. And if it lands upside down, well, it's painted. It just looks better.
Okay. You
Like
just want to
so.
look good in front of other players.
Right. Sometimes it is better to look good than it is to feel good.
True.
So you'll notice that this thing is almost dry.
Yeah.
Almost dry, which is
Yeah.
great.
That's my painting. All right. I've done my base coat, Robert.
You've done your base coat. Now I'm going to show you one of the best things
Wow.
ever in the whole world to help you with painting. This is a blow dryer that I bought for $2.99 at the Salvation Army. It has 3 settings, low, medium, and high. It doesn't matter. I hit up my blow dryer and it's almost insta dry. Right? You see me touching it, there's no paint on my fingers. That's how quick these paints can dry by putting them on light and easy. Ta-da! Right? I'm even going to take the turret. You can see I've still got some stuff going on here. I'm just going to hit it up. When you warm that paint up, it helps dry off of that because acrylics are water based. It just comes out so quick and easy, and you're just doing that up, da ding da dang da da doo. And I just love how this comes out. Just love how this comes out. Okay. Now you'll notice it's not shiny. We got rid of that shine. We're also going to do things to it, gentlemen. Oh, we are going to do things to it. Oh, yes, we're going to do things to it.
Uh-oh.
All right. So
That sounds ominous.
now we have in this kit that came with it dark leather, which is also known as saddle brown or leather brown. It depends on who's making your paints. And we have a little dark leather here, and I'm going to give that a real quick bada bing, bada boom here. And the reason we're going to use some dark leather, we have to do some stuff here. We have to do some stuff. And the reason we're going to do some stuff is because the treads are not green. They were made out of a rubber, and rubber is, you know, black, of course. And for that, they call that, I think they call that like a Bradley shade, but I don't want to use the Bradley shade. I'm going to use just black, flat paint, flat black paint. Can everybody say flat black paint? Because I
Flat
can't.
black paint, flat black paint, flat black paint, flat black paint, flat black paint.
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
That's it.
My
I'm
toy
just going
boat,
to put
my
in
toy boat.
a couple of drops of the black, and I'm going to put in barely a drop of the leather brown, and then I'm going to mix, and I'm going to break all the rules, guys. I'm going to, mix with my paintbrush.
There we go. A little more light for you guys.
Okay.
That's better. Okay. So now you're doing
So
black, you said.
black with, so figure it like five parts black to 1 part of a leather brown.
Ooh, I have that.
Okay. And that gives us a nice color that I'm going to try and show you here. It's not quite black. You can see the subtleties of the brown inside of there. And you lose something with, of course, doing it on a screen here. But such is life. Okay.
I will take your word for it, Padre.
Well, I'm glad somebody does. All right. Now I am going to switch brushes to a finer tip brush. It is 3/8 of an inch bristle. And I'm going to dip that into my black, my black paint that I've just mixed up,
Your flat black paint?
my
What?
flat black paint. And now you're going to see how I do this.
I want to see how you do this. Okay, so you just go in between.
You're just touching the tank treads.
The tread or in between the tread?
The treads, the flats of
Tread
the
themselves.
treads.
Got it.
Okay. You're just coming across it.
Give a little kiss, like you're
And,
kissing your sister.
thank you, Luke Skywalker.
Easy there, Luke Skywalker.
Listen, I watch a lot of kids' films, so Madagascar.
So what happens is by just coming into the top, that the olive drab that's already painted there from the primer is going to stand out a bit, and it's going to make these treads pop off a little bit better. Now, granted, this is the bottom of your tank. You shouldn't be seeing these. Don't let your tank die where it has to flip over and have a horrible death.
True.
Kaboom.
But
Alright.
I'm just kissing it, just
Mhm.
like, just like Luke Skywalker would kiss his sister. God, that was so wrong. Anyhow,
Well, that's what happens
And
when
he
you
was-
don't
happened
plan out your
twice.
script.
he was proud of it, man. He was
Ugh.
just proud when he was like sucking face with the princess. Hey, and take a look at this. Farm boy's getting himself some. And
Yikes.
do you realize? I mean, how do you think that conversation went when they realized afterwards that they were brother and sister? Like, think about that. Just think about
I
that.
don't want to
I'd
think
rather
about
not,
that.
thanks.
Okay. Now I'm going to try and bring this up and see. Okay, there we are. It's not doing what I wanted to do.
All right, it's not
Okay.
doing what you want to do? Why?
It's
What are
not
you
doing what
doing?
Well, I wanted to show that if you look carefully enough, you're going to see little lines of the olive gray in between the treads, and that's what you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for.
Okay,
Not too
so
clean, not too dirty either.
right, and on the bottom of your treads, I mean, since this is, like I say, this has been primed already for us by our friends over at Gale Force 9, or at least whatever sweatshop that they got them from.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
Oh,
oh, it's not. They're highly technical, advanced people who put these together,
Oh,
machinery.
that I don't doubt.
Okay, so you just keep kissing it along. And the thing to remember is you are going to do terrible things to your tanks here in a few minutes.
That's
wait.
always
So
good to hear.
we're gently kissing it now, but we're gonna be doing terrible things to the tank in a few minutes.
Yeah.
It likes it rough.
Yikes. Okay.
Just saying, it likes it rough.
Yeah, tanks don't like to drive on roads. That is a fact.
Well, they do like to drive on roads. They get better gas mileage. However, problem with roads is they're usually pretty flat, and you get shot while on the road an awful lot. And you know, eventually, you have a tendency to get something bad to happen to you while on the road. Now, you'll notice on the side of the tank, you can hear it.
You can hear it?
You hear that noise?
Not really.
Okay. Well, you can feel these little ridges on the side of the treads, and if you look carefully, you would see them. You're going to also kiss those sides just like
Oh man,
what
you're
I'm
so much
doing here.
faster at this than I am. Then again,
You're just coming across. You're giving the illusion of those treads sticking out the sides. You got to kind of be careful because you don't want to bump up too high on the sides here. You don't want to touch the tank body if you can avoid it. You're just going to come across like so. And then when you get over here to the drive wheel, which is here on the front on an M on the Sherman, this is not a wheel. This is painted olive drab. This stays olive drab. This stays olive drab. All of these stay olive drab. What we're going to paint though is on the inside eventually. Once I'm finished with putting my paint here along the edges of the treads,
alright, so
like
I think I'm
so.
going to change my brush to go along the edge.
And then I'm going to come here, take another dab of paint, because a little dab will do you.
I go with
And I can just put this right here on the side. Kiss those off.
a
I'm
bigger
just,
brush.
you can go with a bigger brush, but you got to be a little bit more careful than with, believe it or not, than the smaller brush.
Yes.
I'm
Just fanning
just,
those.
just kissing those edges right there.
Right.
Just
Let's,
like that.
if
Okay.
if you get some on your
Now,
tank, don't be afraid to wipe it away with your finger.
yep. Now those ridges are also on the inside. Now that is going to be up to you if you want to do that, which I am choosing to do because, and Patrick can attest to this, sometimes
Yes.
I will turn my tank upside down, especially if it was a really good kill. If somebody got a good kill on my tank, they deserve to knock it over. Okay. That's just my personal belief. I have turned tanks over for Patrick.
Yeah, now we turn over the digital tanks.
Yeah. Because we're still 850 miles apart.
Thanks,
How
COVID.
many kilometers is that?
Ooh, I actually
Too many for me to do the math.
used to be
That's
able
fair.
to do that.
I was just asking to be a jerk. Oh no.
But if I have to because, Joseph wants it.
Well, this is an educational
We'll
stream.
stop. We'll stop the stream so we
Nope,
can
no, no,
figure
no, no,
out
no,
the
please.
math,
No,
just
please, no. Damn
just
it,
so
Padre,
Joseph can
don't
be
do that.
Oh, I should
satisfied.
change the title of the stream too.
Oh, you should
'Cause
change it to Joseph's kilometer conversion.
we
Yeah.
changed. I learned
No.
that today.
Kilometer conversions with Joseph.
Nah, I'm gonna go Google that right now for you, Padre, because I don't want you to
What do I
stop.
have to
You're
type
doing
in?
good right there. So hold on.
Set title. There we are.
You said 850 miles.
Yes.
Okay.
So now I'm going to get the wheels,
All right.
and the
Padre.
same thing applies, Patrick.
There we go.
You're just kissing that layer
Mwah,
of the wheels that are visible.
mwah.
And there's, only 12 to do. So you're fine. It's quick and easy.
Still doing that inner tread. Almost done
Padre,
though.
would you like to guess how many kilometers it is, or do you just want me to tell you? 'Cause I've got
I
an
do
answer
want
for
to
you.
guess because I used to run 5Ks,
I'm
which
going to
is
say,
3.1 miles.
let's see, we're 850,
I'm gonna say 12.
1,300
Oh,
kilometers.
I was gonna say 1250.
Price is Right rules. Okay, so I have 1,200. Wait, so you said, Patrick, you said how many? You said
1250.
1,250, and Padre, you said 1,300.
1300.
Yeah, about 1,300.
Alrighty. The answer is 1,367.94
Oh,
kilometers.
I was
Fight
off.
me, Patrick.
I was off by 1,000. Or not 1,000, 100. I was
You
close.
said 1,250.
Yeah,
You were off by 117.94.
I was close.
It was close.
Okay, so
And you guys both did better than I did. I just Googled it. I had no guess. I just feel like I'll just Google this and then make them guess and act all smug like the guy on
Well,
Jeopardy because he's all the answers in front of him.
it's funny when you run a road race, you are given the amount of kilometers, and then they put mile markers.
yeah,
And I'm just
what
like,
is the point of that?
can I get kilometer markers? So like,
No.
no, you got to go
can't.
miles
You have
because
to
it's
guess. You have to
America.
guess.
You have to do math in your head while you're running, Patrick. We want this to be as unpleasant as possible.
Okay, that makes more sense. All right,
Okay, so we've got
doing a
my
bad job of holding mine up to the
guide
camera.
wheels are all painted up. Time for me to wash out my brush yet again.
I think that's the one thing I forgot. I forgot to grab something to wash out my brush.
Okay. So now that is my black paint, or my tan and black paint. I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to put a little dab of black right there. Come from the side and make it almost like that, because you got a little 30 cal sticking out the front here. And once again, you're just going to kiss that protuberance like so. To make it black.
Nice.
Because now you got a gun sticking out the front. So now we're going to let these treads dry off to the side here. I'm going to cover up my paint. And now we have to get to some tank maintenance. And you're saying, tank maintenance? What the hell are you talking about? We're talking about a turret. The turret has a 76 millimeter gun on it. But if you notice, the gun is all plugged up. There's a plug in there. And that looks like shit. So I'm going to take what's called a pin vise. And I'm going to take, a 0.027 inch drill bit. And I'm going to put it into my pin vise, like so.
Not bad.
Oh, we're drilling out the tank barrel.
I'm not
And
gonna
you're
drill it out either. All right, and then I just missed that that point. You said paint the barrel on the front. What color? Just the same black?
at the front.
Yeah, that little barrel.
What you're going to do with that is you're going to take a little black.
Yep.
I'll do it off to the side for you. Is I'm going to put a little dab of water right onto my paper here.
Yep.
Dab of black and make it very thin. In fact, you can dip it into the water.
Yep.
Then you're going to come across that barrel.
And just touch the front. Got it.
You got to touch
Yeah,
the
you have
front because this thing has been shooting.
you have the bigger barrel. I've got the little barrel.
This thing has been shooting and having a great time. And so since we were holding it there, there's no paint there per se. But that's okay because this is Robert's world. And Robert's world says I can get away with anything I want.
Yeah.
See? And if you look, I'm going to put a little bit of white background behind it so you can see that there's just a kiss of blackish. You can still see the green through it a bit.
Yeah.
Because that is more representative of the soot and the expellents from the propellant of the barrel. And now I'm going to take my itty bitty little drill bit. I'm going to put it right on the end of the barrel, into the center of the barrel.
Okay.
And
That
I'm
sucker's
just
been
going to.
fired. Yeah, Robert's gonna drill. While you're doing that, I'm gonna go grab a cup of water because I need one.
You do that.
Is it to drink or is it for your brushes?
Could be both.
It's fair. Hydration's important.
Okay, so you're just going to drill that out. I wish I had a tank here. Drill a little hole there, and everybody's happy and joyous, and the peasants, they rejoiced.
Oh, the peasants are revolting, but I guess they can be rejoicing.
Okay,
But
and
get it?
that's gonna, yeah, I got it. And that's gonna come off to the side there, and I'm gonna let that dry, just like that. Already, this is dried up. Isn't that amazing how fast that stuff dries? I just love these paints.
It really is.
Yeah.
You know,
And if you guys have any questions, please blast away in the chat. That is what Robert is here for.
yeah,
Any questions about anything or
sure.
specifically
Oh yeah,
about the
no. I
hobby?
mean, if you want to
I won't
ask him
hold back. I won't hold back.
Catholicism, you can ask him about.
Christianity in general,
Yeah,
whatever. I
Oh,
don't, you know.
I was
how
gonna
to.
ask if you guys are excited about the new Spider-Man movie.
Oh,
Actually,
absolutely.
I am.
I just want to
I'm
see
also
Tobey
excited.
Maguire. Just give me Toby.
I'm also excited about Ghostbusters. I want to go see that one too.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything here. There is a
No,
moment.
no spoilers.
There's
Ah,
just one moment that I'm not
panic.
fond of that
Ah,
I know comes up. I haven't seen it yet, but I know it comes
ah,
up. All right, what's the next step from a beautiful tank here?
Well,
panic.
I can go a couple of different ways here, but I'm going to take this U.S. dark green, and of course, this is Model Air. It's a lot thinner paint.
Ooh, I have that.
Okay. And there's a reason why I'm coming down to the dark green. There are all kinds of pioneering tools on a tank. And they, of course, and what I mean by those is you're going to find a shovel, you're going to find an axe, and you're going to find a pry bar here that's used for helping out with the tank treads. Some tanks you'll even find a tow cable. Sherman did not come with that, but some did. Later versions and other versions. So what we're going to do is this one is a 1/4 inch bristle, and it's very small.
Ooh,
And
I
I'm just
have
going
a
to dip it right into that paint and take it off. And remember that kissing that we did on the treads, Patrick?
I do.
I'm just going to go off with a different color over those areas.
I'm putting it on way too thick. Hold on.
Yeah, thin to win, buddy. Thin to win.
In it to win it.
And the reason I'm going with the darker green on there is just so you can barely make it out from the green that's of the tank or the olive drab.
Yeah, like an army green.
Hmm. And you're going to paint the spade of the shovel and the axe head, and that's going to be the green color, and the pry bar to the side of the axe head. You're just going to kiss that. Boom, 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 and you're done. Just yeah, you're done. Yeah, just like that. Done. All right. Very simple, very easy, very quick. Bada bing, done.
Bada boom.
All right. Now we've drilled out our barrel. Now the one thing about these tanks, when we had tanks, the skirmish game, you got to put on all sorts of extra doodads and thingamajigs and happy things, right? Because there was, 50 cals and 30 cals, and you could put on extra tank treads. That does not come with these models. However, they always came with extra parts and pieces on the tanks. The skirmish game. I never got rid of mine. I kept all of mine. And the reason I kept all of mine is because you never get rid of your greeblies because you never know when they're going to come in handy. And so there's a greebly. Ooh, here's a good greebly that I can use. Look at that. I got 2 nice greeblies right there. And these are tarps. And I can literally, if I wish to, I could put the tarp right on the side there like that, which we're going to do. Why? Because it looks cool. That's why.
Also, it's more
Yeah.
armor for the tank.
Well, the tarp ain't going to do much at all, ever. But the tank can use that tarp to cover up for camouflage, or in the high heat they can put in a shelter over the top of it to keep the tank cooler than the 4,000 degrees that was inside the tank.
Would it really get up to 4,000 degrees?
No, but 154 was not uncommon.
That's equally as unpleasant. Oh God.
That's Florida weather. No.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a stick here, and I'm just going to grab my hemostats, which, by the way, hemostats are good for
Oh,
uh,
yes.
pinching off arteries and veins, but also for picking up greeblies.
And unbaiting hooks from fish that have decided to swallow the hook.
Right.
So,
And I'm just going to put a little bit of.
yeah, just
I like
steal.
using the gel super glue.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I have. Is that the Gorilla Glue?
Yep. Love my gel Gorilla Glue. I'm going to just put that right there on the side.
Yeah, it dries quite fast.
Yes, it does. And I'm going to hold it in place for about 10 seconds. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. You're getting the idea here, right?
You're counting.
Yes.
And off. And now I have that there. Ooh, right? Exciting. So you're saying, well, that's really cool, Robert. That's fantastic. That looks awesome, right?
That's really
But
cool,
wait,
Robert. That's
there's more.
fantastic.
Oh,
Oh, that
jeez.
looks awesome.
Smart ass. Okay.
What? I'm trying to be
Uh,
encouraging.
yeah,
All
thanks.
right, I guess I'll shut up again.
Okay. So we're gonna add a couple of jerry cans onto the back here.
Robert's got all the things.
Robert saved all of his things.
Yep.
And I'm just gonna mount that right there. And oh, I got two of those. Yeah, let me put another one on because you can never have enough water. Those guys were thirsty. Or chocolate.
The Shermans didn't have chocolate in them.
They stole it
Panzer
from the
chocolate?
They
they
stole it
stole it from the Germans.
from the Germans.
So now I have some more tank treads that have not been painted, as you can see, but that's okay because,
We
Now
still have
instead
our
of
paint
painting with
on the
Robert, it's
wet palette.
assembling with Robert.
well, you're going to do a little bit of everything with Robert here. So I'm just going to take a little tanky tread here, and I'm just going to, you know, throw some black paint on it, just like so, because this is the tank tread paint that we just used. And I'm not even going to do a clean job on it. I want it to be not so clean. This is treads that are shot, they've been broken up, but instead of throwing them out, they would tack them to the side of their vehicles for a little extra, shall we say, armor.
Because this, unlike the tarp, will actually do a little bit more to block a shot.
Yeah, this might actually do something. I saw a guy, he had uh, a few links of tank tread that, and he was like, he was pretty sure that it was used as armor because there was two half-inch holes in it, and that would coincide with a 50 caliber round that would have, gone through it and been stopped by the tank tread.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, was it completely effective? Hell no. But something better than nothing.
It might ricochet a shot.
Well, it might ricochet a shot, or it might, slow it down enough that your armor is going to stop what it needs to stop.
It's true. Instead of having that 50 cal round punch through your armor, it'll slow
And
down
get
enough to
inside and
stick.
cook off a couple of rounds, which would be, what's the phrase? Oh yeah, bad.
Yeah, they would
Um,
use almost anything. I mean, they would use sandbags. They would use empty shells. Just throw the like net those on the side.
there were guys that used concrete.
Yeah, I was gonna also say concrete, just slabs of it.
Um, so we got this little bit of armor here. Not armor, but it is actually. Oh, I just lost my tank tread.
You did lose the tank tread.
Oh, it just flew completely out of the realm of possibility of finding. Um, oh
Damn.
well, that's okay. We have more. So
Looks like
remember,
there's more.
whenever you have any kind of model, and it's not just, it doesn't have to be just a tank model or anything like that. There can be any tank model, okay, or any airplane model or anything that you care about. What doesn't matter. The Greeblies can be used for multiple things. It's just a part. It's just a little thing. And if I always, my grandfather used to tell me after I would complete a job of something or do something, you know, if they got to get that close to see your mistakes, shove their face right into it. And it made sense.
That kind of does make
So
sense. Yes.
if you got to get that close to see where I screwed up, bite me. So I just glue that right there. No problem there, right?
Yeah. And you know what? You're gonna be viewing these things from like 3 feet away on the tabletop anyway.
That is correct, sir.
And sometimes like I'll paint a mini and I look at it up close and I'm like, oh my god. But then
Oh,
you know
it's
what?
horrible.
I set it down from 3 feet away and I look at it. I'm like, that looks exactly like how I want it to look from 3 feet.
Yeah.
I accept.
Okay, and I'm going to throw in another thread right there on the side.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Like across the room, all of my superheroes for Crisis Protocol are identifiable as the superheroes they're supposed to be, in like recognizable colors that people say, "Oh, hey, look, it's my favorite hero."
Yeah.
Across a room, it looks damn good.
Absolutely.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I want to add the 30 cal on the top. Oh, let me think. Yeah, I do. Why?
Yes.
Because it's a 30 cal. That's why.
Yeah,
Which is
extra
interesting
punch.
because on the top of this, it does have that little hole there for the
Right.
original, but it wasn't included in the pack.
Right.
So
And I'm pretty sure, I mean, let's face it, these molds are the molds that, we had from, the uh the old
yeah,
tank
yeah,
skirmish
from
game.
Tank Skirmish game.
You know, just it just is. I mean, they retooled a few little things here and there, but why spend the money? And by doing so, they managed to keep the cost of this game down for us.
Oh
I
yeah, I
mean,
was thinking about that today with X-wing. I can't imagine that they're saving money with these packages that they have in second edition from the first edition days, and also it's got to cost more to ship 'cause they take up more space.
right?
So
Yes, they do.
I hope AMG goes back to the
Oh
old.
god, but these are much easier to open, and I haven't sliced open my hands on sharp plastic opening these ones.
You could always get cheaper plastic that's not as
That's
hard to
true.
open. Or World of Tanks has it to where you can just pop them open. You don't cut open
Yep.
anything. They
Yeah,
Remove a
just
staple.
yeah.
yeah. But those
There's
old FFG ones were like fortresses.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely. But
Honestly,
then I'm stuck with all that paper and cardboard and like 3 rounds of plastic. I'm just
True.
recycling it, but oh, there's no need for it.
Nope.
no, I agree.
All right. So the only thing I'm going to add now, just for fun and frivolity, is I'm going to put in that 30 cal on the top because, well, frankly, I can.
And it needs
It's
it.
a frivolity cannon.
Little dab will do you. And then I put that right there.
You know, I touch up the little bit more.
You can. You're allowed to.
I am because I've now let it sit here for a bit. I can see where I've missed it. I want to get these nice little.
All right. And I didn't want to spend 3 hours with this. I wanted to show you guys how fast and easy this stuff is.
Too late.
So now we've got everything glued on. We got everything there. And as you can see, this thing is looking like a bloody tank, right? I could probably put on a wheel if I wanted to on the side, but do I want to?
There's blood on the tank.
A wheel.
Sometimes.
Yeah. It depends on,
Heck,
who hit it. Um,
concern.
Or,
yeah.
who it hit. So
Oh, why not? We got it. We might as well use it. We're right here. I'm just gonna put a little thing right there.
Ooh, you know what? I didn't get up here. See? Well, it's good to sit here and take a minute because sometimes you notice things like you missed all this upper tread here. It's right in there.
There we go. See, we add a little wheel there. All right. So now, as you can see, this looks like a tank. Quick, dirty, and easy. Quick, dirty, and easy is your watchword. All right. So I am done with all of my greeblies. I'm going to put my greeblies away. Like I say, I saved all of my extra parts and pieces and doohickeys and thingies and stuff like
All,
that. I have,
all of the gubbins.
well, I mean, this is just, I've got upper hulls from some of the tank variations. I've got turrets. So if you want to make, um, battle damaged parts on a battlefield, you can. You know, that's what all this stuff is fun for. And I have a whole bunch of pieces and parts.
All right.
So
What is next?
it's always good. So like if I want to bring my World of tanks into something really cool, I can, and it's not hard to do, and it's pretty damned easy actually, and I like pretty damned easy because that's how I roll. So now eh, here we have a tank. I am going to hit this tank with my hair dryer again and just let that glue harden up, that little bit of paint harden up,
And you want your perm to
just
set.
like so. Do we have any questions out in the world there, Patrick? Have you checked for a while?
No questions so far. Looks like everyone's just content.
For a moment of panic when you said I'm just gonna hit it with this, thought you were gonna say hammer, and I was like, man, Padre is hardcore. He wants it to look battle damage, but no, he said hair dryer, and I was like, that makes more sense.
Um, you know what? At another time, what we'll do is we'll do a tank and we will battle damage the heck out of it.
Oh,
I
We'll
just want
make
to
it.
try.
Oh yeah, there'll be holes and dings and dents and things like that all the way through it. All right.
Good
So
choice.
now here's the decisions that you guys have to make. Obviously, this is an American tank. It's olive drab. However, there's two ways that you can go about changing your tank even more. These are the World of Tanks miniatures game USA dice and decals. If you're in the UK, they're decals. Here, we call them decals. We speak American English here. So, as you notice, there's 6 dice in the pack, but the best part is when you take this out, ooh, looky, we have stuff, right? And that's really cool. So you got decals there. There's other decals um, here. So if I come to this one, and since they sell these tank sets by factions, there's an American set. There's a German set. There's an English set. There's the Russian set. So here we have some of the stuff that we would be wanting to use. So, German tanks generally had a star here on the sides, on the port and starboard side, and they had one here in the middle sometimes. And that was actually an allied thing. So Russian tanks had the star, English tanks had the star. If you were the ally, you had the star with a circle around it. And I think that's what the way we're going to go here today with those. You can put, smaller stars on the turret, but some of them are, the Shermans had them, some didn't, but they always had a demarcation because you wanted to know who was who and what was what.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Very important.
You know, yeah. So you didn't do stupid stuff. But sometimes you would. Anyhow,
like
so what
friendly
I'm
fire.
going to do,
It
yeah, something
happens.
like
Yeah,
that.
it definitely happened.
People got upset. People were dead. Little things like that.
All right.
So I'm going to take
I
a
don't
little
have
bit of
decals.
water, but I'm going to show you how to apply decals.
Maybe I do. I just
Now,
can't
I
find
am
them.
of the mindset. I am of the mindset that decals go on before you put on your final weathering. Okay, because you want the weathering to be on top of the decal. You don't want to get it all weathered up and then put a fresh color of decal on the top of it. It looks like crap, in my opinion. But hey, what do I know, right? So I'm going to take my scissors
For one thing,
and
we
I'm
know
going to
how
cut.
many kilometers you are from Patrick.
True.
Yeah, I mean, hey, with information like that,
I'm sorry,
so
I
I'm
don't
going
mean
to
to
cut
be such
out.
a smartass.
Oh,
It
Yeah.
just comes naturally.
But you're going to do it anyhow. We know.
It's
So
part of who
I'm
I
going
am.
to cut out a roundel like so. And my roundel, like that word, roundel, is just going to, I put it right into the water and let it sink to the bottom. And we'll let it sit there for a minute and do all its little, you know, round little things. And then I like to grab just a simple little painty brush like so. And I'm going to get there, just get some water on the tip, and I'm going to forget about it. And like that. And then we're going to get ready for our next step. Well, that's going there. And that is our wash. We got to have a wash.
Always a wash.
And okay, so here's how I make a wash. Fresh cup. I grab my black, put a couple of drops in it, and then I grab some water. I start a little bit of water in it. Now, I also like to use um, maybe some burnt umber or a saddle brown. In this case, let's try their dark leather. Let's see how their dark leather looks for a wash. But this is an acrylic wash, which makes it easier. And I put a little drop of that, just one drop of brown, just the one, just,
Dabble, do you?
and then I'm going
Do
to
you?
take that, and this stuff is basically, water. It's basically, just painted on water. And you can see when I put my cup up, it cleans to the side a little bit, but washes clean. To me, that's a little bit too thick. I'm going to add another little bit of water to thin it down even more. Just thin it down even more.
All right, so I'll do
And
the
then
make a
I'm going to
star.
find a well-used brush. So the brush you can see here, this is old. Don't
Oh
throw
yeah.
out your brushes. Keep all your old stuff. This one is not good for anything except
Yep.
what we're about to use it for.
Oh wait, you can't see that. Yeah, look at this
All
one.
right.
This one is beaten to hell.
Is this a dry brush, or what are we doing with it?
You're going to make this brush very wet, and I'm going to show you how wet here in a second.
All right, you
Okay.
said leather brown.
Do you see how wet that is? And now that I look on it at the white, I'm going to thin it down even more. Okay. And normally I add a small drop of dish soap.
Yeah.
Now, ask me why.
Why,
Why?
Padre?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Why, Padre?
Everybody's
Why
asking me
would
why.
you ask?
Okay.
Would you add
Because
dish
dish
soap?
soap breaks the surface tension of the water and allows it to flow so much easier. But in this case, I have airbrush flow improver, and I'm just going to drop a couple, maybe 3 drops in that, and I'm done. 3 drops.
3
Because
drops.
I want, it allows the water to flow into all the nooks and crannies really good. And then I'm just going to set that off to the side because that's what we're going to do now. We're going to put on our
Yep, trying to keep up with your internet, Robert.
decal. And we're going to that move because it's been under the water. Yep. See how I can move.
All right, one sec, everybody. We're gonna try to fix this up. Back in there.
He's back.
I am. Unfortunately, it
We
wasn't
seem to have
loading.
lost Padre's comms.
Okay, so we did lose count. Okay, I thought we lost Robert.
So we
Yeah.
seem to have lost Padre. I wasn't sure if it was just my internet, so I started
No,
closing programs I had running in the background.
his internet is absolutely horrendous.
Hello?
There you are.
Padre,
You're
you're back.
back.
I have no idea what happened.
Well, your internet crapped out on us.
Ah, okay. So as you can see, I placed it right there.
Yep.
Now I'm going to get the water off of that brush as much as I can. And I'm going to adjust that and push it into place. And the water is going to start squeezing out. And what I'm going to do is start picking the water up by the bristles, getting rid of the water as it comes out. And I'm going to put that fluid into its place. And then I take the Q-tip and I just soak up the rest of the water. And you kind of blot it dry. Just like that. And you have a decal. You have a decal, Louis. And we're only going to do the one because we're not going to get all stupid on this stuff. Well, we probably will later, but hey. So, all right, so now we're going to take our wash and we're going to take our nasty, nasty paintbrush that's all nice and broken and loose and the bristles go all over the place.
Yep.
And I'm going to dip it in and I'm going to literally.
Oh my God. Really? That's what we're doing?
Oh, what are we doing?
Huh?
Okay.
We're washing
He said it,
it.
people. I'm
So
going to
like
thin this down
applying
so
a very
much.
wet dry brush, kind of.
I'm so
No,
worried.
this is wet.
This is why
This
I need Robert, because now I'm all worried that I'm going to ruin the tank and the whole work that we just did.
Okay.
I'm not brave enough.
Get it in there. Look at how wet and grimy that is. Look at that. This is wet and dirty. Okay, because your next step is going to be even better. You're going to love the next step, Patrick.
I'm going to thin this
Okay,
down more.
trust me on this.
Yeah, looks like it's been fighting the
Okay,
Germans
look
during
at
a
how much
thunderstorm.
mudstorm maybe, and get that all into the ear too. Oh yeah, look at that.
In where? I can't see
You want
it.
to get that all in the sides.
Okay, all on the treads,
Don't be
everything.
afraid.
Everything. I am afraid. That's the whole reason.
Don't be afraid.
Spent
Be
so
not
much time.
afraid.
I don't think I weathered it
And
down
you
in the
see how
first.
thick I. There you go. And then look at that.
Oh God! Look at my hands.
right.
They're covered.
Now. Yep. And then watch this. This is the best part.
What do I do?
Just hitting that with
Oh, see, you're
with
using
the.
you're using
I'm
the
hitting with the
thing,
hair dryer. Yeah, the hair dryer.
the hair dryer. See, Robert thinks of everything. See, this is where I'm doing it wrong because I'm just sitting here brush. And I shouldn't. I can just leave it at any point. I don't have to keep going. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit it down right now. I swear. I'm not touching it anymore.
Oh,
I'm done.
you see how wet I put it, right?
I'm still going.
Let's say, Patrick, now turn on your camera so we can see that you've actually walked away.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
All right.
right.
Yeah, I've already got fingerprints on the side. That's always good. All right, I think that's it. That's done. For this spot right there. All right, I'm not going to touch it
turret.
anymore. So it's covered in muck.
Yep.
All right, and then the turret.
You want to get that all over. Then you do a nice bath.
All right, now I'm not as scared anymore. This
Go
looks good.
underneath it. Yeah, this. Okay.
Basically, like globbing it on there.
You used to play. You used to do a lot of 40K, right?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so you are probably with Agrex Earthshade,
probably.
which is okay, which is their wash.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much on. Good.
That's the much. I'm scared
Okay.
about the much.
Okay.
I got
You
my
can
own blow
still
dryer.
all right, right?
God, my
And
hands covered in paint.
you can let it set and dry on your own. I am rushing my I can show people on the stream what's going on here.
Yes,
Port.
I need the hair dryer.
And remember, since this is all water based, very little pigment on. You see how that flowed right into the cracks and the crevice,
Here, now
and
I'm
it
messing
darkened
with
it up, and it made it dirty and all of that.
Yep.
This is pretty much right now, as we speak. You know, you could throw this on and play this and be a happy little camper, right? You wouldn't have any worry. You know, nobody's going to laugh at you. Going to laugh at you much. Um, so we put that there, and we got that down, and voila, you have a tank.
Oh, it looks really good, Padre.
Now, let's go.
Now I have a tank.
Now you have a
Now
tank,
I have
but
the
do you
machine.
have mud?
Ho ho
I don't
ho.
have a
You can
machine
get
gun.
all
Joseph,
sort.
sir.
You can get all sorts of different things. There's like dust and dirt deposits that you can make your own mud, and
Yes.
by using pigments, like here's a rust orange and here's a clay brown. There is no limit to the amount of stuff that you can do. You like the clay brown, but it's not dark enough. Well, in order to make it, it's fantastic. I'm going to show you how much I love this. You guys don't have to do this. This is just something a little bit. Um, to utilize this stuff is like, you know. So I'm going to grab my my 15 blade here. I'm
Yeah.
going to take a little bit of mud, just a little bit of mud, like so, and then I'm going to go in. So I've been rinsing my brushes out right in water, and what water that's going to be, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be brown, almost black, right? I'm going to take a little bit of there
Waiting
and
for your
mix
internet to
that
catch up.
just
There
like
you go.
that. Okay. I'm just going to take a dirty stick and I'm going to mix that. I'm making mud is what I'm making. I'm just making mud, and the I want it to be, muddy, obviously, right? And I'm just going to take that brush we used for the weathering, and I'm going to mix that all together. And I'm going to make something that is literally the consistency of like mud.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, there are
And if
definitely
it's too thin,
add more.
you add a little bit more.
A trick that I do, and I
Oh.
don't recommend it. If you have one of those olds, you've got like a Citadel that you've had forever, and most of the paint is kind of goopy,
Yeah.
you can use that. Somewhat the same
Okay. So
consistency.
so here we go. I'm going to take this and I'm
Basically, just
going to.
bleh. Yeah. You don't have to be pretty.
Nope. But you want to get it in here a lot because this is taking the brunt of the nastiness, and you can push it in and take it out. Dry your brush out a little bit, push it around, get it up there, and if you get it up onto the side, hey, that's okay. That's all right. That's not a problem. You get into there, mess it up into there because tanks were dirty.
They went through mud.
They went through mud, and here's the best part. If it's too light, you don't like your mud, add some black
Yeah, make it a little
and watch what
darker.
happens to my mud. My mud becomes a little darker and it's mixed there. And then you might want to go along the bottom like that. Just like that. Maybe a little bit up into there. A couple of dabs here and there,
Yeah, we'll do you.
like so. That goes into there. I'm going to take that brush again. I'm going to hit my mud up again here. And it's traveling this way, so I've got mud along the top edge here. You know, and hell, if I want to, I will take this wet brush, dip it in, and come like that. And there we have our tank. And then we're almost still dry here. And I use for this next step, if you guys so choose to, this is another 1/4 inch flat bristle, as you can see here. And now we get to the really cool thing. Bright white paint. Yes, I did say bright white paint. A dab will do you for this next step. Mark hasn't said anything, and we know he's here trolling inside of the
I don't know if he's here anymore.
Discord.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he
still in
still
Discord.
shows up.
Oh, he's in Discord. Okay.
All right, look how much I'm putting on that brush. A little bit. And then I'm taking it off. I almost want this to be dry. I'm getting just that little bit there. And I'm just going to kiss the corners
Perfect.
where there's going to be rubs and bumps and high spots. And just go along the edges like this, where these guys have been putting their feet and scratches and doohickeys and little things like that.
Letting the metal shine
And this is
through.
just a dry brush of white, like so. And you don't have to do a lot of it, but a little bit, especially at this scale. And you might smear it a little bit and take your finger and rub it in. And you might go along all the high spots. You just want to be very dry with your brush. Very dry with your brush.
How dry I am.
Dry is good because you can always add more later.
Nobody knows how dry I am.
I feel like that's a medication slogan or commercial or something song, Patrick.
Oh no, that was like huge in the Looney Tunes days.
50s. Yeah. Then back here. I want to have a little bit of mud there too. Hold on. It's not dirty enough back there yet. I need a dirty, dirty tank. Dirty.
All right,
Dirty.
now I'm using
Oh,
my own hand to get all the excess off.
Yep. And what time did we start?
around 9:13.
9:30?
9. Oh, I thought 9.
9:13?
Yeah, 9:13, 9:20ish. I don't remember.
Well, it's 10:36 and we're done.
That's pretty good. Well
And
done.
you know, and I don't worry about the bottom. I mean, if you want to, you can. The worst thing you're going to do for the bottom of the tank, considering that is the grimiest frickin' spot that you could ever imagine on the tank. I come here with the dirt and the schmutz,
The
and I'm done.
dirt and the
Yep.
schmutz.
And that's how I do my tanks. I do it like Joseph said. Imagine looking at it, you know, 3 foot away, but even 18 inches, 12 inches away. You're not going to get down right. Your opponent's not going to go, dude, you got a little thing right there. You're not going to do that. Okay. Don't forget, this is going to be fun and enjoyable. Um, you know, at least I want it to be fun and enjoyable. I want people to enjoy themselves when they're doing this. Um, you don't have to do this with the tanks, obviously, when they come out of the box, because let's face it, these are done pretty stinking well. They got that nice color on them. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, they
But
come right out ready to go.
in an hour of just, screwing around and, I took my time. I took longer than I should have. Um,
Yeah, putting on all that
but
extra stuff.
yeah. Um, but notice what that extra stuff did.
So it looks great.
I
You
mean,
know.
we got a couple of jerry cans off at the back. Um, we got a 30 caliber on the top. Um, we drilled out our barrel. We added some extra tank treads for a little extra uh, armor on the sides there. We got our tarps lashed to the side. We got the mud on the sides of the tank. We dirtied it up. We highlighted some of the higher spots. It does not take a lot to make these tanks pop off of the mat and give you a little bit of fun. You know, uh, I don't mind. I thought when World of Tanks came out that I was going to miss assembling the tanks. I don't.
I don't.
I'm still I'm still able to paint the tank. I still had fun with the tank. You know, I improved what came out of the clamshell, and I was pleased with that. Um, so I have no. I'm not disappointed in that at all. I'm like I say, it is pretty quick, and by just going over the color, and I will say I'm very impressed with the Sherman drab that you get out of that Flames of War box, which I'm sure is going to be the same because they do make a World of Tanks paint set
Yep.
for the various different nationalities. So if you're worried about colors and color matching and all that, you really don't have to worry too much. It's already been done,
Yeah.
you know, and that makes it so much easier. Um, I just think it's a good tank and it's a fun little hobby to get into. That's my point right there. And as you can see, I did that in about an hour, and I enjoyed myself. And I was chit chatting and talking and doing all sorts of extra things. You could take as long as you want or as quick as you want. You're just slapping color on and taking it off, or putting it on, or taking it off, whatever you want to do. Um, Adding a little bit of greeblies here and there, I think added to it. We darkened the barrel up. It's completely doable for the tabletop.
Oh yeah, and you could easily pump some of these out, one right after the other.
Oh, oh yeah. You know, Now when I compare that to, let's see, what do I got here? Oh, okay. Well, here's a close comparison. Here's our our Russian tank, right? Everything is cool there. Soviet paint set.
Yep.
It comes with the Russian green, so you're there with that. Here we go with the British set. So you've got your Monty shade, your Tommy green, your Firefly green, okay, your battle dress brown, your Crusader sand. That's in there for the Brits. So like here's your battle dress brown right there. You're all set. And it even tells you what the colors go where. This is black. This is, dry dust. They have all of these different paint sets. I've got uh, British, I've got Soviet, I've got German, I've got the Desert Rats. So you can do everything. I mean, you don't exactly have to have a ton of paints if you don't wish to. You just get yourself a couple of those sets and you're good to go.
Yeah. So for
Oh,
me, everyone,
I do have to show you one thing.
you do. Um,
Oh, yeah.
for me, I like doing things from kind of the hip. I like, as you can see, this is my palette. It's just all mixed up. I make my own colors. I know there are people that are like, "Oh, you got to be historically accurate," but I mean, to the naked eye,
Only depending on the game.
I mean, so this is an unpainted Sherman. This is my painted Sherman. Most people aren't going to be able to tell the difference, except mine's going to be a little bit more, oh, it's weathered, or it's, I painted on my star instead of it being a decal, and you'll
Right.
add your own little flair to each one.
Absolutely. And you're supposed to. You're supposed to. Remember, this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy yourself when you're doing this stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, I want
And
to do a girl
and
Panzer paint stream one day.
oh, I made sure I got screenshots already of that.
I'll do that with you.
Absolutely, please, yes, Mark.
Oh,
I
now
actually,
Mark talks.
yeah, Girls and Panzer, that's my jam. I actually have the little tank commanders for each of the main characters from each of the schools in little pewter miniatures, 100 scale.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, you can actually buy them from some Etsy store
So
somewhere.
now, Mark, have you been painting your tanks?
I mean, I've been painting tanks. My corset ones are still all unpainted, but I've been
Okay.
painting. I got my Comet painted.
There you go,
Oh,
everyone.
nice.
The rest, I've just been painting my Flames of War stuff and Team Yankee stuff because I've just got too much of it to catch up on.
There's
And
never too much.
Are you joking? I have about 600 points. I have about 600 points of Germans for World War II that is unpainted.
Awesome.
Well,
I
you need to
have
have at least 800 more points.
well, so you say that. I have about that in mid-war English, American, Russian. I've got about 30 infantry sprues for Flames of War that I need to. Well, I don't need to. They're just going to sit there and do nothing forever, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm sick of painting 15 mil infantry
Right.
and not doing it anymore. But yeah, I've been playing it a bit. I've been playing World of Tanks a bit, but I've just been using my Flames models anyway, so catching up with them helps.
Yeah, you got to focus it in, Robert.
Yeah, I can't
What do we
focus
focus?
it
I'm
in.
not
I
watching
told you
anymore.
to
What do we
have the
focus on?
camera focus open at all times. Then you can focus it. But I've been showing them mine up
Okay.
close. So I mean,
Okay.
honestly, this was awesome. I was able to follow along easily. My problem is I don't know a lot about tanks' history or their color schemes or where I should weather stuff. This was so easy to follow, and I love the way my tank came out.
I'm glad.
And
I'm glad.
now I can replicate it because I have another one right there ready to go that I want to paint, and I can improve on stuff and get the
Yeah.
decals.
Uh, M- Mark would be able to tell you better, especially with the Flames of War crowd. Um, most of those guys, are they like pretty period and pretty accurate down to the platoon level?
Oh, geez.
The players or the game?
The players.
The players, are they painting their
Uh,
stuff so that it's historically accurate?
You get a bit of both. There are a bunch of people that do. There are a bunch of people that care, just a little bit too much. I certainly
Right.
don't. Like, I don't mix and match like 75 and 76 mil Shermans, right? It just makes it harder. But when you're talking about infantry, if it's got the right size base on it and it matches the rest of the company, that's all that matters.
Right. Okay.
Like if you've got 7 big bases and a little 3-man base, that's it. You're done. I don't care what it looks like. If all the
Right.
teams are the same, it doesn't matter. Like, you've got to have separate ones for your mortars or whatever, or your LMG teams, whatever. But yeah, I don't care, man. I use German Panzer Grenadiers for almost every faction of infantry in Flames of War because I don't want to paint anymore. So
Right.
my 2 companies of Panzer Grenadiers are stand-ins for literally every other type of infantry in the game.
Awesome.
And as long as your crew go with it, what does it matter?
Oh yeah, they don't
It
care.
doesn't.
They don't care.
Yeah.
Like, even the ones who they themselves are over the top about it, like, they just want to play the game. They don't really care what my models look like. They only care what theirs look like. You know what I mean?
Yep. Well,
Right. Right.
It's the same with World of Tanks, man. I play against people who don't paint their tanks at all. I don't care.
Right.
It's the same game.
Yeah, it is. It truly is. It's like I say, for me, it's fun doing the painting and getting it at least so that it's kind of believable, and I'm happy there. Yeah, I'm happy with kind of happy. So, but guys, if you want to stay on and we can chat, that's cool. I think Patrick, this would probably be a good place for us to kill the stream.
yeah. So, thank you, everyone. We'll be back. You know what? Let's shoot for 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks to do some more painting on Saturdays because we're gonna
Yeah,
be.
maybe we'll do
Guys, 2
that.
weeks from today is Christmas Day.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So maybe the day after, around 2 weeks. But I really feel it necessary to do this big behemoth of a frickin' tank right here. It's gonna be frickin' awesome.
Is that the tiger or the pan?
Panther.
Oh,
Yeah, it's the big.
that's
This
the
is
panther.
Panther. This is Wave 5.
Yep.
You wanna send me a set of Wave 5? That'd be amazing. Got any spares?
Well, you can try.
No, but we can order them.
Oh really?
I can send you as many as you'd like. You'll
get
never
'em.
get any of them, but.
No. Actually, we can get stuff to you. It's just the game. If we're sending it across the pond, it's just triple the cost of the item.
Yeah, I just need cards, to be honest. Like, I have all of Wave 5 in multitudes. Like, I have squadrons of them, but I don't have any of the cards for anything after
Right.
Wave 1, really.
Oh, geez, that stinks.
Yeah.
Oh, well, everyone watching on stream, thank you so much for tuning in. We hope that we gave you some pointers or how to paint your tanks quickly or, just get in the way you like. Thank you, Joseph, for coming in along with us. Hopefully you were painting a tank as well.
Oh, I was building some 40k stuff, but I
Dare
was
you.
with y'all in spirit.
Love it. And then, again, Padre, thank you so much. It brings so much joy to my heart to be in a game to where I don't have to paint, but the option's there, and now I actually would love to field this Sherman, even though I don't like playing Shermans.
Yeah, but it's fun, and it's a tank that we both had, and like I say, in a couple of weeks, we'll do the big giant German tank that was going to win the war for them. Oh wait, they did lose. Sorry.
Exactly. They still lost. Yeah, and then we will be painting other
Yeah.
models as well in the future. Even maybe Joseph, we can get you a camera and have you paint a Marvel Crisis Protocol
Ooh,
on
that could be
stream.
fun.
Yeah,
Yep.
that would be fun.
And then I'll paint maybe some 40K models or whatever have you. But thank you guys again. Please like, subscribe, share, do all the things that people do. And thank you for tuning in.
Yep. And see you.
Later. All right. And we're out.